Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, I'm John and I'm back with another video here on my channel, Musings of a Marine. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As you can see, if you watched my last video, I no longer have bandages on my nose. The day after I did that video, I went and had some plastic surgery at a hospital and they stitched it all up, and now I'm pretty much healed and back to normal again. Dermatologist gave me a clean bill of health. So anyways, not here to talk about that, but just in case you were wondering, yes, everything is back to normal there. This is the first video I've actually done outside in my backyard. It's a beautiful 80-degree day here in Redford, Michigan, and just like thought I'd do a video outside for a change. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is call center agents. And I'm going to call this video, the call center agent you're talking to may be a nice lady from Iloilo in the Philippines. And how do I know this? Well, because I actually know 3 call center agents who are from Iloilo. And they are super nice people. And I would hope that when people talk to them that they would give them the proper respect. Now, I know and I understand fully that most people, when they call a call center agent, they're not happy about the situation and they're looking for some credit on their bill or some forgiveness on their bill or just some tech support, something they don't understand. And it can be frustrating, and I get it, believe you me. Because I've been there. But, you know, there's a couple of topics in particular that I want to mention. And first of all is in that frustration oftentimes comes out poor treatment towards the call center agent themselves, and sometimes to the point of, you know, racism. You know, oh, could you get an English-speaking person on the phone or something like that, or an American on there. You know, I just want to mention first and foremost, you take the countries that supply the most call center agents. The Philippines is number 1 and India is number 2. And for me personally, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, Filipinos speak better English than the Indians do, more because it's ingrained into their culture. So, you know, but nonetheless, I do know that these Filipino call center agents that I know personally have had to deal with some, you know, racist behavior by some of the callers. I get it. You're calling, you're angry, you're upset, but don't take it out on them. They're just trying to do their job. Now, I'll throw in a little disclaimer here. It's easier for me to understand what they're saying than the average person. Why? Because I was overseas for 2 years. I was accustomed to people in Okinawa and people in South Korea, and also even in the Philippines to some point, speaking broken English. And I learned to decipher it a lot better than some people have. As a matter of fact, my first job after I got out of the Marines, I was working for this leather and luggage company, and what they had to do, my supervisor in particular, she had to call down to Baltimore, Maryland, and talk to one of the guys in the warehouse there, Mr. Kim. And Mr. Kim was from South Korea, so she didn't always understand what he was saying. And forgive the noise in the background, it's my neighbor cutting the grass. But anyways, she would put me on the phone and talk to Mr. Kim because I could understand what he was saying. So, true story. But anyways, I get that you're upset, but I want you to understand something. Because I happen to know 3 call center agents personally, let me tell you a little bit about the background of some of these call center agents. number one, it's not their fault that they're doing what they're doing for a living, and they're very, very thankful they have the job, because when you live in a country that's doesn't have the wealth that we enjoy here in the U.S., you're going to take any job that you can get. So that's number one. So they hire in and they do their job, and they do it, most of them, to the best of their ability. So I think you got to show them that respect for that. Okay, it's not their fault that some company here in the United States outsourced their call center agents to the Philippines or India. Second thing is if you knew these people, you might appreciate them more. A lot of them work in cities where they're not even from. They have to say goodbye to their family, sometimes goodbye to their children, and go work in these call center agents that aren't even near where they grew up and where they call home. And they do this because they have to provide. And they're willing to do it, and they're willing to make these sacrifices. Okay? It's not easy to just pack up and leave what you know so you can go somewhere and provide for your family. And believe you me, as someone who served in the military, I know that as much as anybody. It wasn't easy spending 2 years in Okinawa, I'll tell you that. Being away from my family, not only my immediate family, but my cousins, who were my best friends, and missing out on a lot of stuff as a result of it. So this is the reality of the situation. These people have to make sacrifices. And you got to understand another thing. Did you know all of them are working a midnight shift when you call? When you call in the Philippines at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because your cell phone isn't working right, or you want a credit on your bill, it's 1 a.m. over there in the Philippines. So these people have to work midnights. And if you've ever worked a midnight shift, as I have, you know you can get pretty sleep deprived when working that shift. So these are some of the things you have to deal with if you are a call center agent. They're working the graveyard shift to serve us. And I think that should mean something. They're spending time away from their families, living in boarding houses, which aren't the greatest accommodations sometimes, away from their families to serve us. Okay? And I think they deserve more appreciation and more credit for that. So the next time that you make a phone call to whatever company and you need tech support, or you dispute a bill, or whatever it is, think about those things. Those people have bad days too. Maybe there's a birthday party going on for their daughter and they can't even be there because they had to work. And worst of all, they had to listen to some jerk chew them out or get racist at them because of their accent. Can you imagine that? People here in the United States have accents too. Me from Michigan, go down south. You don't think that I have a problem understanding those accents sometimes? But I don't put those people down. So why in the heck would I put down anybody overseas who's just trying to do their job to the best of their ability? I always prefer, of course, if I get a Filipino on the other end, because they speak better English than the Indians do typically. But I'm not going to hold it against anybody who's on the other end just because they happen to be from another country. It's wrong, and I think we should learn, as I have, because I've been to the Philippines 8 times, see how they live and see the sacrifices that they make, and then you can better fully understand, what they go through. On a personal level, and then they have to come into a call center agent, sleep deprived, living in boarding houses that aren't even air conditioned in countries where it's 90 degrees most of the time. Could you imagine that? and then having to come in and talk to people on the phone and listen to some jerk complain about something and then say, oh, can you get someone who speaks good English on the phone? You know, respect these people. They're there to serve you, and they're trying their best, and they're not paid a whole heck of a lot to do it either compared to what we make over here. Their standard of living is nothing like we have. So cut them some slack. Okay, that's really what I wanted to talk about today. And I've learned I'm never going to get on these people's case about anything. I'm going to hope they can help me. I'm going to tell them what I want and what I need, and hopefully they can make it happen for me. But if they can't, they got to follow company policy or whatever it is. I'm not going to get on their case about it and treat them like garbage. All right. So anyways, that's my preachy video for today. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope maybe it made you think a little bit. So I'm John. Thanks for tuning in. Semper Fi, and God bless.